Okay. Just got out of the shower not too long ago. Alright, so my hair still look crazy. Alright, so this is part 3 of the story. Part 2 was basically we recapping part 2 basically on the weekends, at the weekend. So I'm in Michigan when all this stuff was happening still. So on the weekends we go to my auntie's TT house to be with my youngest cousin Ti, because she's the only child. So we just go there and play with her and chill with her and stuff. But there's sometimes we have good days and stuff, but I guess it's like most of the time it's just we're young, but that's how it was. Most of the time when the adults are not there. Well, before we get there, so that's how my auntie is. That's how my auntie is basically. We at her house on the weekends to play with our youngest cousin, Ti, and anything that happens, we do wrong, or we goof up and make mistakes, she will yell at us. She will tell us how we're stupid, we're dumb, how we low life, how stupid, basically saying things that we shouldn't be hearing at a young age, but that's very hurtful. Then after she get done doing that, she'll go in her room and go on the phone and talk to everybody she knows on the phone, including my dad, grandma, and her people that she hang out with, who comes to the house that she parties with, and they just basically sit around and smoke weed and still talk about us still. So then by the time the news will be out, basically that's what she does. She will follow you and then go on the phone and talk to everybody and tell them how bad you are as a person to make your whole character look up something that it's not. That's what she's been doing to all of us and me. And that's how it always be at her house. So, and also, like, once again, when my auntie leaves to go to the store, it's just my cousin and I, and there's 3 girls and I'm the only boy. You already know how this is. The same way at grandma's house, they all bully me, they all jump me. And the sense of it's that you may be wondering, what do I do? It's honestly nothing. It's really honestly nothing, because I don't understand how there can be. It's based off of jealousy and envy. I never really understood jealousy and envy because my mind was so not understanding why they so mean to me, why they so bullying me and things like that. But that's how it was. They were old, and I would just sit down and just talking, and all of a sudden they start ignoring me. They start being rude to me and this is out of the blue. And sometimes it's rare when they be nice to me. It's rare. I don't know the occasion why they do that, but that's what they do. When I was young, yeah, I was fat. Let's keep it real. I was fat. I was big. I loved to eat. That was like my only comfort food, bro. That's just my only comfort food, was just to eat. They used to call me watermelon head because my head was shaped like an oval and stuff like that, and it was hurtful. They always crack jokes and stuff on me and stuff like that. I used to get in a fight with my cousins, like verbal fights, but at the end of the day, that when my auntie does come home from the grocery store, my oldest cousin T would tell on us, but mostly they cover her up. They basically telling me for the things that I did, and I tell my auntie what happened, and she don't care about her daughter doing bad things. She really don't care, honestly. Auntie really didn't care so much about her daughter at the time. Like, she did care. It's like how it's basically she was a single mother. So most times when you're in the black community, black moms, I'm not saying all, but what I experienced, because of what they would do is, like, they still worry about themselves and not worry much about their kid, because of they're too focused on trying to find love and not putting the time and effort into their own kids. So she will always look for dates and stuff and be defiled and nasty and rude for no reason, all because of the life choice she made within her life. Now, at that time, we never liked it, TT. We didn't like being around her because of she cussed a lot. She cussed us out for every little thing. So it's like we always had to walk on eggshells. We always had to, and we stand up for ourselves. Basically, she would tower over us, yelling even louder, call us even rude names, like that, and threatening to hit us and stuff like that. But she don't really hit or whoop, but her own daughter. But most of the time, for us, uh, she will just verbally abuse us by her words, basically, and she will get my uncle B to whoop us, or anybody else to whoop us, like grandma or Uncle B, anybody who will whoop us. So that's what she does. She in her form of character, she's like a chihuahua, basically. You know how chihuahuas bark, but when you're long distance, they bark. But when you walk up close, they hush up, and then they run somewhere in distance to bark again. Because when you walk up to them, they don't bark. So she will start something, she will talk mess, and then have another person or an adult in the family to come and handle the business for her, basically. So that's what we deal with. I deal with the most in that. Now, I would roll back into when I have my game systems and my mother sends me gifts. They become jealous and envy. Now we had talks when we are nice. When they're nice to me, I take that as an advantage, as a sense of want to know why they be the way they are to me. I hardly done anything wrong. The other times, just want to be around them and be cool with them. And as we have our own talks and stuff. But keep in mind, I was 6. M is 5, turning 6, because I was born in 2001. She was born in 2002. And my oldest cousin T was born in 1999. So the difference was there. It was 2 years difference from me and 1 year difference with M. So I was like, why? I was talking to M because we were always around each other. But when my auntie leaves or just us at the house, T, the oldest cousin, watch over us. And the oldest cousin, I already said that T and M are sisters. They're sisters. So I was like, M, why do you be so mean to me all the be so mean to me? What did I even do? She's like, I was just jealous. I said, jealous of what? Because your mom gives you gifts and stuff like that. Now at that time I was like, oh, I just wanted the answers. I just wanted to know why it was the way that it was. But because now I'm here and can understand. But the reason why they was jealous is because of my mother sent me gifts and stuff when she was in Afghanistan. But their mother they went to, at this time they always used to go and see their mother periodically, sometimes on the weekends or on the weekends. So after we get done being at our auntie's house, we come back to grandma's house and we stay there because we live there, but also we go to school, so we stay there to go to school and all that stuff. But sometimes on the weekends they go see their moms, and their mom lives very close, 10 minutes, almost 10 to 17 minutes away, right? So they go spend the whole weekend there. So it's like now at this age, I never really understood how they could have been jealous of me, because they get to see their moms. I couldn't see my mom and my dad at the time because they was in Afghanistan in the war and doing what they're doing in Afghanistan. And so the only way I get to know if my mom is alive and is okay is that I have to call her. So I don't get to see her. I have to call her. I call her every night before I go to bed because I did miss her at the time. But my 2 cousins, T and M, could to see their mom on the weekends. I never really understood why were there such a jealousy because of my mother gets me gifts and stuff. And it's that because I was like, I should be more jealous of you because my mother's in Afghanistan. It's a high chance that anything can happen while your mom is literally at home just watching TV and stuff. Not worried, not in war, not in the military. So it didn't. And at that time it didn't click, but now I still like I never really understood that. So it was very hard emotions for me because I missed my mother and I was being bullied, and also have to deal with my auntie with her shenanigans and stuff like that. We couldn't never really stand up for ourselves because every time we stand up for ourselves, it's a quote unquote talking back and stuff. Now, keep in mind, M was a bad cousin. She was very bad. My oldest cousin T, she's light skinned, but we call her white because she acted white and stuff like that. But we hung out and stuff like that. I was the outcast. They made me out the outcast. And it's like, how do they make you the outcast? Because of I have disadvantages. One, I'm the only boy. Anybody who watches this video, it's the same instance. If you have two brothers and one sister, or you have two sisters and one brother, I want to know, what do y'all have in common in different sex that y'all can honestly say that y'all have in common? Not no Barbie dolls or, well, she likes to listen to all these guys groups. It's like whatever you can find in common, I would like to know. Because in this time I couldn't. There was really nothing in common. They don't really talk to me as much. They will only talk to each other, and they, always fight and bully me because of I may have something that they don't have. And another thing, since it's on my mind, what they always love to do, which I hated the most, the only way for me to get on their good side is they be like, oh, can I play on your game console? I'm like, sure. If it gets you to talk to me, sure. So the thing about it, they want me and M to ask T for her stuff, but she knows good and well she'll say, no, you can't use it. She had a sewing kit. She has like sewing kits and these marbles. Like, she had a sewing kit and things that is tangible that we would like to play with. She had an easy bake oven, I believe. So I think it was M. One of them had an easy bake oven. So it was like, hey, I allow you to use my things. Can I play with your stuff? And they will both say, if I ask for like to play with her sewing kit or T for anything because I allow her to play with my stuff, she'll tell me no. Same thing with them. I allow her to use my stuff, but if I ask for her stuff, she'll say no. So this is what a case of that. My auntie is just like that as well. It is not about, my grandma's like that as well. So it's like all my entire life I was surrounded by women, girls and women. Now you may say, oh, they pay the bills and stuff. I understand that, but you cannot use that for any other circumstances. You can still be a good person and pay the bills. You can still be a bad person and pay the bills. Paying the bills is just is something to do to stay in the home and things like in those natures to keep the utilities running, water running. But that does not have the same equivalent to emotion bond, because paying the bills, you don't need emotions to pay the bills. You could just say, I pay the bills and I do this, I do that, just to get your point across. If there's any points that you cannot even have, but go for your last resort to say that. Now that's what black people do. They use that just to, if they lose anything or don't know what else to say, they just use that. Everybody knowing their mamas, they be doing that. So what they would do is, if I tell them no, you cannot play with my stuff because you won't allow me to play with yours. See, now they will huff and puff and all that stuff. Then if I take a nap or I go outside, one of them will stay behind, right? Now keep in mind, this is what they always do. So they always hide my stuff. They always hide my stuff. Like, say that I want to play last time I wanted to play my Xbox, right? I can't find my controller. I set my controller right on top of my Xbox. Now what happened? It's gone, right? So I was like, bro, they hid it. They always tend to hide my stuff. So I go tell grandma. This is like, grandma was like, go find his stuff, and it'd be under the pillow or it'd be under her bed. I was like, why are you hiding my stuff for? Like, I don't do nothing to y'all. This is what the stress. They purposely put me through stress every single day. every single day. Then I gotta deal with my auntie. Then I gotta deal with my grandma, because sometimes that she knows that they bully me and she knows the reason why. I mean, it doesn't matter how many times she say, but if she has the energy sometimes to blame me and I gotta get in trouble for their problems, for their choices they choose, then it's like, if she can blame me, she can do something to them, but she doesn't. She just let them slide. All she does is slap them in the wrist. You know, she slapped them in the wrist and then keep it going. And the way by slapping the wrist is like basically cussing at them and say, "Don't do it again," basically. And then that's it. That's it. Literally, that's it. So and they do that to my. I had my what's it? DSI. I had that for my birthday. They would always hide my game cartridge thing. I was like, come on, they hide like little tangible things until I want to use it that day. I can't find it, and then I know that they hid it. You know, that's what they do. They hide my stuff when they don't get their way. When I don't allow them to use my stuff, they hide it. But keep in mind, when I ask for their stuff, they say no. I cannot make this up. All of them are selfish, bro. This came to a point that it was selfish at this age. You think I'm lying, but I feel like this stuff was orchestrated, you know. But this is what I had to deal with, you know. Constant pain, constant anxiety, depression. I felt all this stuff at a young age. And this was all when I was in 4th grade. I was dealing with it when I was in 3rd grade too. And when I first met them, things were smooth until things changed. And this is how it all happened. Now, you understand the emotions and the physical and mental abuse that I've faced just because I was the only boy in the midst of this stuff, right? So the only way that I would have some type of form of peace was at school, which I don't like school. But I just wanted to get away from them. But this is what I had to deal with at that time until I moved back with my mom. I moved back with. All right, my phone died on me. My phone died on me. Okay, so we good. So my hair is crazy. I gotta get it done. I'm gonna get my hair done in a little soon, so don't worry. So yeah, I better not be coming in the comments when y'all do see these videos. But yeah, the only time I did have peace was basically when I was at school, honestly, and I never really wanted to go back. During that time I was there, I wish my mom was here to come and get me, because I was never happy, because I didn't want to be around them, you know. When, you know, at my grandma's house, sometimes on Fridays, Good Fridays, but on Fridays, on the because it was the day that my dad came, and when my dad came from I think he came back from Afghanistan, and then he came here to grandma's house. He actually surprised me. See, the thing about my dad is like he's a good person, but just the way how I explain it is that he is a good father when he wants to be. And so how I knew that he came is that when I was sleeping, right? I was sleeping on the floor, and I woke up, and then I woke up, I was like, woke up. Then he was standing on top of, like, you know, he was looking down upon me, and I was like, oh, Dad. And I ran up, you know, that's the type of surprise, something that you wouldn't forget, honestly. And it was pretty cool. Then throughout the day, I always follow him around because I don't get to see him. He's in Afghanistan and stuff. Um, but since we were so far apart in the story, you know, I don't want to say we have another. See, we had three. I have actually 4 cousins. I'm gonna just say Tamara. Tamara is one of my cousins, but Tamara at that time, like way back at grandma's house, um, Uncle B and his I don't know if they got married, but they've been together, so it seems that way. Tamara used to stay in the room in the back, but she moved a long time ago. But I was there when she was there. She used to bully me as well with the girls. I just had to throw that out there. Um, something in me. So it's like, just to say it. She used to do some of the bullying as well because she was the oldest out of T. But we're so far into the story. But I'm just make this a side note. The story is not thrown off any kind of way. But I will continue to what I was saying. In that house, Uncle B, his girl, his wife, and my oldest cousin Tamara used to live there. So the same thing with my two cousins, but after I came back and forth in that time that I came to go to school, she moved. Uncle B, his wife moved too, so Grandma took over that house. So before Grandma took over the house, it was Uncle B, his wife, and Tamara. And Tamara used to start the bullying. That's how the first bullying ever started, but she influenced the girls to do it. Then after used to come back and forth, and this is where I met them again because of it's been a long time since I've met them. Then when I first met them once again, because I was young, so it's like you will see them and understand, but then when you leave and do your own thing and come back, it's like you look. I was like, that's how I was like, you look familiar. I don't know your name, but it was like that. But by that time I came back, Grandma took over the house, so I just had to throw that. There was a little backstory, um, so that's how it was. Yeah, that's how it was. My dad would come and talk and talk to me and stuff like that, be sweet and stuff. He always used to tell me that anybody who would hurt me, he would deal with them. That the dad talk. But then they had a party because he came back to visit for I guess 2 weeks. It wasn't really that long before he had to go back to Afghanistan though. So what my dad would do, I thought my dad was here for me, but I was wrong. His brothers, you remember how I told you in the beginning, Grandma is the mother of my dad, my Uncle W, my auntie, and Uncle B. They're brothers and sisters. So Grandma had a party at her crib, so everybody part of the family, some we knew, some adults we knew, some we only knew when we was little. That's another thing I don't like about it. Why y'all? I was like, why did they be forcing like, they're like, you don't remember me? Like say it's Peaches. You don't remember me? I'm Peaches when you was little. I said even when I was little, I did not know you. Why do you make me like? I don't know you. Don't try to force me to know you because I would just avoid you. That's what they do. They always forces you to know someone to be like, oh, remember me when I was little? No, I don't at all. I still don't know you. So don't try to do that. Don't do those type of stuff to people. When they don't know them, they don't know them. And forces you, and then don't try to do those. Oh, remember that? No, I don't remember. I was a baby. How do you expect me to know faces when I was a baby? All right, just stop that. Cut that out. Cut that out. But he will only be there for his brothers, so it's like Uncle W will be like, "Oh, let's go to the club. Let's go to the club and stuff like that." Then my dad be like, "All right, let's go to the club." And I'm like, "Dad, is it like?" Oh, because when before what they would do is my grandma would do the party and she would start cooking. So in the morning or close to the afternoon, say like 12 o'clock, she would start cooking a big feast. It'd just be her in the kitchen cooking food. But in that daytime, they will go out and then don't come back until nighttime. So when they was out, I was like, I'm happy that my dad is here, but he doesn't even want to. He all he told me was just like, awesome. Oh, if anybody hurts you, come tell me and then I'll take care of it and stuff like that. Those type of, and I was young and he would tell me how much he loves me and stuff, and then I'm like, okay, now it's in my head, and then he goes out with his brothers. That's all he did for the entire 1 or 2 weeks, just straightly that. But when that night, that Friday night, um um what's it, in the afternoon around 12, grandma started cooking. Then we go outside and play, do all that stuff. Uncle W be the one like, oh, you want to go to the club? Oh, let's talk. Cause my dad likes to go to the club, likes to go to the club and stuff. But at that time, my dad and my mom was divorced. My dad and my mom was divorced because my dad likes to be out there on the streets and stuff, and still did at this time. I was like, Dad, no, don't go. I never seen you this long and stuff like that. I was trying to plead for him to stay, but then he'd be like, I'll be back, I'll be back. And then boom, they're gone. Nighttime rolls around and they just now coming back being tipsy and all that stuff. Just to, when we have a party, we have a party. There'll be a cooler, beer, Kool-Aid, all that stuff. Basically like a black feast, basically. Cookout, but inside the home, have grandma cook two different kinds of brownies, chocolate brownies, uh, brownies with cashew nuts in it, ribs, pork chop, macaroni and cheese, green beans, baked beans, pork chop, chicken, ribs. She makes some greens, macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes. I know some things I repeated, but I'm just trying to make sure I had everything. Cornbread. She be making the making, deviled eggs. She be making. This is all a big dish, all right. And what else? You know, she be making deviled eggs. What is it? Egg salad. Then she makes those brownies for dessert, and she would make those, right? Make smoothies, make some fruits, stuff like that. And she makes, and it takes her 12 o'clock, 12 in the afternoon to, like, I say a good around 6, almost 7, 6 to 7 for all that to be done. But sometimes she also made hot dogs and burgers too, because we had a grill on the side door. So she did all that, every last cooking feast, because she made sure that, because the other foods that she was cooking, she wanted us to have some burgers or some hot dogs to fill us up, to be able to wait longer till the main food was done. So we had something in our stomachs, basically. And my dad would come back with his brothers, and then, well, Uncle B was working, so he was out. But it was just Uncle W, my dad, and my dad friends that he went to the military, were they still inactive with. So he basically came for them, not for me. He only came to me because he'd be like, when I want to be around him, he sees that, he knows that, he would tell me, oh, I'll be back, and then when he's back, he'd be like, oh, I'm gonna talk, come here. But he's already intoxicated. That's how my dad always communicated with me when he was drunk. He never talks to me when he is sober. Keep that in mind. My dad will only talk to me if he is drunk. He have never talked to me when he was sober, because I always smelled the alcohol off his breath and stuff like that. It just came to a point that he drunk in front of me so much that he would ask for me to get him something to drink, and I will put whatever soda I see in half of alcohol. Like, it was just a natural instinct, because I observed all the time. Ever since I was bullying, being manipulated, I was always being the black goat. Basically, I had to take the punishment for my cousin's wrong choices, and if I get in trouble, I have to take the full punishment. So they can break something and blame me for me making them make bad choices, and they will manipulate me, make me think worsely of me and all that stuff. And then they will go tell my auntie sometimes, if they choose to wake up on the wrong side of the bed for her. Grandma most of the time does it. When grandma knows what's going on, she will go tell auntie. And then, you want to know something? She will tell auntie, and then we will go to Titi's house. Wait, grandma will tell her daughter, but then we'll go to Titi's house. Then she will already know what happens, and then yell at us, and then talk to everybody on the phone, that everybody in the whole community will know. So, as she's seeing this video, and however she sees this video, that's exactly what she's going to be doing and stuff, even to this day. But we were too ahead of the time. But right now, we was at the party. The party was here at grandma's house, so we were happy. We're having fun because of, we just got out. We don't have school. It's the weekend. We do what we want, you know. and I enjoyed every moment of it. You know, other people's kids start coming and we start having fun and stuff. But you know, I always felt like the outcast because most kids was fit, skinny, and stuff like that. I was big and chubby, so you already know they made fun of me and all that stuff. They never really want to be around me and stuff like that. But if they did, it's only because of for them to be around me is because they see something that I got and they will do what they can to get it from me. And I say, you know, you can just have it as long as you just have fun and stuff. That's literally my entire life when I was hanging around them it was just the way it is. You know, I can't. There's nothing I could really done about it. Then at the party, you know, people be playing what's it? Spades, dominoes. You know, the adults be doing adults things. We run around, do what we do and stuff like that. In the midst of the party, I always try to find dad and just try to talk to him and stuff. But he over here got a drink, a cup, a cup already, and then I just stand by him and every day every day was the same thing. You know, he will always like if I when I tell him you don't I and the thing is when I defend myself, my dad does the exact same thing. I'd be like, you don't love me. You only here for your brothers and not for me. He knew it was true. I speak the truth. He knew it was true because he snapped on me and then he put me in the different room. He told me to go to a different room and I had to lay there in the dark while everybody was having fun. No one really cared. Like when I'm telling you this story, no one in this family did not care. Not one, not even a penny. No one cared about me. Not even a penny. Not even a penny. They did not care about me. But the thing is, it's like they hated me. They was jealous and envious of me. I never knew why. I Same thing with my auntie. Same thing with grandma. Same thing. Every time if they have a bad day, they will take it out on me. They will take it out on my cousins. And grandma will break something just because I'm in okay, so she in the kitchen and I'm in the dining room. If she would have broke something, she would have cussed me out. Why? Because I was the only one in the room. If M or T is in the room, she wouldn't even say anything. You catching my drift? And this is not no picking the story. No, this is literally the truth. I cannot lie to you. I cannot lie to you because this is what I've dealt with, you know? So everybody had their own problems, and if 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 it was bad, they will blame it on me. And it's most of the time, dude. And the thing is, I'm never in the same room with them. It just be so happen I be in the room, like, and if I'm in the room with them, they will be in the kitchen, and I will be in the living room. So that's two different space right there, different rooms. And if something happened, they will blame me. They will cuss me out. They will cuss me out. And then my cousins will laugh at me, laugh and snicker at me. So you think that made it good, right? Nah. So, you know, it came over the times that I just, you know, took it upon my own hands. I took it upon my own hands, you know. So what I would do is I would set traps. So I would set traps. So what I would do is what I did one time at my auntie's house because they was bullying me so much. I had enough and no one was on my side. This was meant for me. They did not love me at all. And the thing is, before I said the traps that I did, all of them, my whole dad's side of the family, including my mom, they will say they love me. So it's like, say you're a stranger, right? You're watching this video, right? You watching this, and whatever you see this. In the outside, they'd be like, oh, you look at the family. They'd be like, and they can tell you, oh, yes, I love him. I don't know why he acts the way he acts. Did he always be so dramatic? It's easy for a stranger to ask them and for them to tell the stranger be like, oh, and look at me and be like, I don't know, right? But I tell you what truly happened to me. What the facade they tell you is all a lie. It's all a lie. I literally wrote a book. I typed a book about my experience. I just want you to see my face and you to understand what I've been dealing with and still currently going through this day. But you would know at the other parts. But here, this is what I dealt with. All of them, every last one of them. My cousins, all of my cousins before, my grandma and my auntie at this time, when I was young, they all blamed me. They will all throw me under the bus when something goes wrong. And then they talk to anyone, they always throw me under the bus. They would tell my deepest secrets because they like to play this game where you can tell me anything. You can tell me anything and I will make you comfortable. But then when something don't go their way or they get mad, they will say, but then that's why you was crying because they was bullying you. You was crying because you let someone they would tell my business out just like that. And I'm like, what? Why would you do that? And they know. And the thing is about it is like, because I'm young, I'll be like, and they can act dumb. That's what they love to do. They love to act dumb. They want to act like they're confused. But in all actuality, they knew and they know what they're doing. That's what they love to do. They like to play these toxic games. And then when they get caught, they only get upset because they got caught. They get upset because they got caught. And all they're going to do is just, instead of be like, you know what, maybe I should stop doing this. No, they're just going to find a different strategy so they don't get caught again. That's all they do. So, and that's what was going on, with them and my father as well. Because my father, it came to a point that it was time for him to go. And I was fast forwarding this because he was basically doing this in the time and duration that he was here. And on the last day, I was crying in my bed. He said, because he knew what he was wrong. He knew he was wrong. He knew that he wasn't there for me because then we would have had fun and stuff. But I promise you, he was not there for me because he always hung out with his brother every single day. He always hanging around chicks every single time they come over or he go out there. That was it. And then on the last day, then he want to put some effort in. And he had to leave the next day. That's what my life was like. So I never understood how my cousins were so jealous of me when they get to see their dad, when they get to see their moms. But my mom and my dad don't love me. They know my dad don't love me. They knew I was so naive and the big heart that I have, always want to give him a chance. But he always proved me wrong right in front of me. And I was like, come on, don't be these type of statistics type of fathers, Don't do this. So I'm just going to leave it here for, I think this is part 3. But this is where all, you understand once again how I was the black sheep, how I was the outcast because of my size. They was all, every last people that I told you in the story had some type of jealousy against me, had some type of envious against me. So for my own cousins, I understood the reason why, because we talked about it on those days. We talked about that. But for grandma and my auntie, I didn't know why. But they always threw me under the bus. What they would do, not just to me, but for my cousins, because what they would do is they want us to tell them everything just to throw it right back at us when things don't go their way or they have a bad day or whatever triggered them. But it's literally, you have to walk on eggshells. That's all you have to walk on eggshells, because one tripwire or anything in one tripwire and you would never hear the end of it. They would go call on the phone while yelling at you while talking to them on the phone. But, and another thing, to this day, they do not love the truth. The truth scares them. If truth and accountability was a person, everyone in the family would have been a track star by this time. Everybody would have been fit. Everybody would have been skinny. Everybody would have been looking good because they running away from their problems. So that's part 3. Part 4 is going to be coming soon. I know I've been just making these videos, popping them out. But once they're out, they're out. So I hope y'all will understand. So yeah, peace.